time it's over, it's not featured.
All right, good afternoon. Senior right tackle Cole Madison's now at the podium. So we'll go questions in the room for Cole Madison. Go ahead, Theo.
Cole, what did you make of the offensive line play on Saturday?
I think first half we played really good. We played really aggressive, and just got to keep that nastiest going on throughout the season.
USC is always known for kind of having one of the bigger, faster defensive fronts in college football. How did they look on film so far? Does it kind of match what they look like?
They look good. They look like what you expect them to look like. But I think if we go out and play our game, we should do our job up front.
How excited are you just to have this game? I mean, both teams undefeated. You're bringing a fifth-ranked team in the nation to your house. You got Friday night lights. I'm sure when you wanted to go and play college football, these are the games that you were looking forward to play.
Yeah, this is an exciting game. Every week's an exciting game, but this one, really sticks out. Friday night game, a little high school action out there under the lights. It should be a good one.
And also, just with the stadium sold out crowd, running out of that tunnel, how much added juice do you guys get on the field off that? I know you don't like really external factors to kind of play into what you guys are doing, but does that add to the momentum? And can you think back to a time where the crowd was just so crazy for you guys and you could rally behind them?
It always helps, the big crowds. Like, for example, Boise State game, the energy in that atmosphere was real great. And, the stadium wasn't even full at that time, and I can only imagine it'll be like on this Friday. So looking forward to that.
Is there a different energy within the team leading up to such a big game like this?
No, I think it's we're doing a real good job this year on focusing on ourselves and cutting out the outside noise and just focusing on our craft and the task at hand. And I think that's what we're really looking forward to this week.
With this being a national TV game, bunch of exposure, what's it like around the group of guys knowing that a win here can really elevate the program not only this season but in the future as well for bringing in recruits and just exposure?
I think we're just focused on winning this game this week. We're not really focused on the future like that right now. We're just focused on beating SC on Friday night in Pullman. So.
What have you seen from USC's interior, and how do you guys think you stack up?
They have some big athletic guys in interior, but we have some guys who can fight. BJ might be undersized, but hey, I wouldn't want to cross that guy outside of football. And Cody, great player. Fred playing up to standard, and I just think we'll do our job up front.
Have you had a chance to watch any USC games so far this year, or are you just kind of catching up on film?
No, I'm just catching up on film right now.
Cole, 2 weeks ago, Coach Leach was fairly critical of the group after the Boise game, but you talked about playing with this nastiness now. What's changed for you guys collectively since then?
Just going out and pulling the trigger. I think we've been the previous weeks we were just thinking schematically and how to properly work on our stuff and not going out playing football. And last week pretty much summed that up. Just went out there, pulled the trigger, and played with the hair down.
Jamal was mentioning before how the last time that a game has been hyped up this big was probably the Apple Cup last year, and he said that you guys are obviously disappointed in how that turned out. Is there a different approach to this game? Do you feel like maybe last year you guys got a little tense before it, or maybe just need to do a little more, just let it rip?
I think last year we were all focused on the noise and listening to the hype and whatnot, and just not playing our standard or playing our game. And I think this year we're really just dumbing it down and focusing on ourselves and beating the game, winning the game, and I think that's what's going to help us this year.
Is that actually how you guys term it, dumbing it down?
Well, that's just how I look at it. Just don't look at the bigger picture. Just look at each individual job. I'll look at, I can't control what the defense does. I can't control how Luke plays. I control how I play. I control how the offensive line plays. And if we play great, running backs play great. If the running back plays great, the quarterback plays great. If the quarterback plays great, the receivers play great. So just focus on myself.
Luke kind of took his first meaningful snaps for this program 3 years ago in this USC game. Obviously, 103 touchdowns later, 12,000 yards. What's been so impressive about kind of his growth since that game?
Just being consistent. The kid, he's consistent most 90% of the time, and he picks up the players around him, and it's a real good joy to be around him in the locker room.
What do you remember about how he handled that situation coming in for Connor and playing a pretty respectable game against a tough team?
Well, I was actually sick that game, so I wasn't in the locker room, but watching on TV, you could tell that he didn't come in as a backup. He came in wanting to, play the game and win the game, and he really brought that confidence to the field.
Any questions on the phone line for Cole Madison?
Hey Cole, it's Steph. The offensive line, I mean, 4 games here, you guys have given up 14 sacks. You know, what do you think you guys need to kind of work on to cut that number down as you go forward through the season?
I think our blitz protection was a little sloppy in the last couple games, and just winning one-on-one battles, whether that be in the tackles or the guards or the center, and a lot of us leaning on each other for help. But at the end of the day, sometimes you just got to man up and win those one-on-one battles.
On the sidelines on Saturday, it looked like McGuire had you guys doing some up downs in the fourth quarter. What did he say to you guys? What was he displeased about that?
Oh, that was from the head man himself, Coach Leach. He wasn't real happy about the drop-off when the young guys rolled in there. And it really wasn't even the young guys who gave up those pressures at the end. It was the older guys that were staying in there. And he wasn't too happy that we went, I think it was a 4-and-out, that first drive for the young guys. And he said if we didn't get that first down, then we'd have to do some up-downs. And we all know how that worked out. So do a little up-down on the sideline. Never hurt nobody.
Thanks.
Any other questions on the phone line for Cole? Okay, and back in the room.
How many up downs did you guys have to do?
I think we did 15. That's what it was. Wasn't too bad.
When you say you guys weren't great on your blitz protection, is it just added film, more film work the next week, or what do you guys do to try and get better and correct that?
I think a lot of those were the my bad kind of plays where everyone knew what they were supposed to do, but there was just, oh, my bad, I messed up, or I didn't come off on the right guy, and it's just one of those mentally being locked in each play at the end of the day.
And looking at film, is USC kind of balanced, or are they blitz heavy?
A lot of one-backer blitz, so nothing too crazy, no Stanford, no ASU, so it should be pretty good.
After all these years on campus and being with the team so long, I know everybody probably asks you what's your best Mike Leach story. What's your go-to story? The one that you can tell us here.
Yeah, I was gonna say the one I can tell you guys.
Tell us about when you wanted it.
I can't think of one right now. Just the funny, like the moments about him, going. I'm sure you guys have all experienced it, but going into football day and then just not talking about football for the first 10 minutes of anything. Like one day last year, we were in Bowl in the Ring, and he was talking about like sacrificing your body, and then he went on a tangent about the Civil War for 10 minutes while everyone's in Bowl in the Ring, like, all right, when's practice going to start, when he's going on a Civil War tangent. So just little things like that is pretty great.
Talking about that last USC game, I think it was a 3-9 year for you guys. How much pride do you take in the turnaround that it's, these past couple of years have been, taking it from that to a team that can really compete with anyone?
Oh, it's great. It's night and day how that team was from, now it's that year. And I think as the seniors, we really took that, chip on our shoulder as especially showing the young guys how it's done, because we didn't really have older guys showing us how it's done besides a small handful of seniors and juniors at that time. But I think the seniors took real good pride in that.
What's it been like being home for 5 straight weeks?
It's crazy. It's weird. Next week when we travel, it should be interesting, but it's real nice, and I think it's good way to start off the year. It's the best way to start off the year, 5 straight home games. So I'm really taking advantage of it.
You looking forward to getting to that first road game?
Just looking forward to this week right now. Yeah, see how it goes from there.
Is it difficult to get yourself familiar again with USC, because you haven't played them in a couple years? It's a little bit different than what you're used to in the conference play when you're playing Oregon and Oregon State and all these teams every other year. Did you have to take extra time to sort of get yourself familiar with them again?
No, I just think each team each week you just got to evolve who you're playing, and just at the end of the day, just show up on Saturday or Friday this week and get ready to play. So that's what we're gonna do.
And then also with everything that happened in the NFL yesterday, did you have any thoughts or opinions, or have you discussed with teammates about what happened with the protests?
Well, just my personal opinion. I mean, I got the flag on my shoulder right now. I got a tattoo of it, so that pretty much explains that question. People have their voice and their opinions, but I never do anything like that. I just love the country too much, so that's what I have to say about that.
Who has better hair, you or Peyton Poole?
Oh, hands down me. I've had it first. He copied me, in my opinion, but hey, but yeah.
Is Daniel Aquale pretty close to you guys in
He's
that
getting
respect?
there. He's getting there.
If you could name a top 3 on the team, what would it be?
I'd say me, Peyton, and Daniel and Tristan Brock are pretty close right there. So.
Jamal just came in here and told us he liked the cheeseburgers that Alaska Airlines serves. When
Oh
you
yeah,
guys-
those are pretty good.
Are they pretty good?
Yeah, we have like a running joke. They're like the best, like worst cheeseburger you'll ever have in your entire life. You know, it's pretty good.
Anything else for Cole?
Cole, talk about home games. A couple years back, there seemed to be some kind of mental block about home games. You guys were having a little kind of a tailspin there.
Yeah.
Looking back on it, can you kind of diagnose?
Yeah, that is funny. I remember they thought about that recently, but a couple years ago we had real trouble with home games, away games where we really thrived, and this year we just really started off a good foot and just got to keep it going, home and away games, I guess. So.
I'm just curious, does Coach Leach use a lot of historical, like odd off references when he's coaching you guys?
Yeah. It just references like all over the board. Like he'll bring up like high school stories of friends and stuff, and just everything's fair game thing.
Does it resonate with you guys?
I mean, yeah, it's applicable, I guess.
All right, thanks, Cole.
Thanks, Cole.
We'll have